woodpeckers and squirrels until the sap starts to run. That hadn't actually answered my question, but the extra creasing around Russ's normally jovial mouth and eyes did. For some reason, our lines were abnormally compromised. I opened my mouth to ask him what this might mean for our syrup production and profit margin, but he'd pulled out his walkie-talkie again and had the button depressed. "Looking for an ETA on those supplies, Noah. Over." He released the button, but the line stayed quiet. "Anyone got eyes on Noah? Over." The replies popcorned in, all negative. Russ pulled out his cell phone. His small headshake telegraphed the lack of signal. Fairhaven, with all its dead zones, often felt like it belonged back in the 90s. Russ ruffled his gray hair with a sticky hand, like he'd forgotten the sap was there. His hair stood up in spikes. A knotty ball formed in my chest. Russ's actions said this was about more than just the need for parts. The question was whether he was fretting about the impact of the delay on our season, or about Noah. "You seem worried." I tried to keep my voice casual. Russ tended to glue his lips together when it came to anyone else's business. If he felt like I was pushing him at all, I'd get nothing from him. And it wasn't that I wanted to be nosy, but if one of my employees was having a serious enough issue for Russ to agonize about it, it seemed like something I should know. His expression smoothed out, but not completely, making it even more obvious that what he felt inside wasn't what he wanted reflected. "I wanted your first season to start off better is all. Maybe I'll head back and check on Noah." I was the best choice to go back to Sugarwood and find a cell signal to call Noah. Compared to Russ, my skills in finding and fixing leaks in the lines were similar to the Karate Kid versus Mr. Miyagi. "I'll go. I wanted to take the dogs back anyway so they can get warmed up." Russ shifted his weight back and forth. He clearly knew that if he argued with me, I'd want a reason. Finally, he nodded. "Give me a call on the walkie-talkie when you're headed back out." I'd have to let it drop for now, and hope Russ would confide in me if it was something I should know about. I called for the dogs. Toby came immediately. Velma snaked along, heading in my direction but taking the opportunity to smell everything. Russ did a double-take as she passed. "Are her toenails blue?" I got tired of people calling her a him, so I painted them. I clipped on their leashes. I have purple and pink, too. The look he gave me said, "Crazy lady." I gave him a cheeky grin and headed back toward the buildings. What was the point in having dogs if you didn't have fun with them? As soon as I neared the tree line, my phone caught a signal. I dialed Noah. It rang through to voicemail. The knot in my chest swelled. I should have pressed Russ to tell me why he was acting funny. Now I was coming up with all sorts of crazy ideas in my head, starting with Noah having collapsed in the store due to a brain tumor. His voicemail told me to leave a message. "Hey, it's Nicole. Call me. Russ is worried about you, and we need those supplies." I walked the dogs back to my house and tucked them into the laundry room together, then headed along the path to the sugar shack. If Noah had his hands full fixing a piece of equipment, he wouldn't have been able to answer. I'd eliminate the most likely causes for this delay before I let my suspicious mind run amok. No one at the sugar shack had seen him since we discovered the sap wasn't flowing in properly, but his truck was parked out front, a case of duct tape, and a couple plastic bags emblazoned with Dad's hardware store on the seat. There was only one other place I could think of that he might be. He could have gone to hook up the 2 Clydesdales we used to pull the sleigh for tours, planning to bring the supplies out to everyone that way. He liked to use the horses as much as possible to keep them in practice. I passed the spot where our antique sugar shack had burned down. The snow covered the charred ring now, which made it easier to pretend that the spot had always been empty.